uh, third day of this FDP. This afternoon has been designed in such a way that will not bore you much, because post-lunch sessions should not be involved with much of the theory. So it is meant for some of the practical aspects. So first day, I think that Dr. Suresh is explaining about relaxation and meditation, because in the heartfulness I'm into more on this meditation practice, because once we come to the stress management, see, I don't personally think that only we have to manage the stress. Actually, we have to go much beyond managing the stress. In a sense, beyond stress, actually, we need to enjoy the life, more happy about it. Dr. Reiki was explaining, once you are planning to do it, why don't you do it happily? So that happy and blissful life we are all aspiring for, not only mere stress-free life. It's something like, disease-free health. We don't want simply, I'm disease-free. We want to enjoy the good health. So we have to aspire for, blissful and happy life. So the stress management is a small aspect actually in that. At least we should not be loaded with the stress. The minimum expectation is stress-free, but that is not our aim. So towards working that life, people have said a lot of things, starting from Dr. Rahul Mehrotra. He said in the prosperous country, people are not happy, the suicidal tendencies are more, people are going to psychiatrists, a lot of depressions, materially advanced nations. And we also in India, developing country and prospering to some extent. And we started feeling, now our own young generation who are coming into the institution after undergoing 12th and competition through JEE and all other examinations, and we find that students are more on stressed situation. So the young generation is facing a lot, actually, maybe due to competition or maybe due to our own imposition on the young generation about the expectation which we actually expect from them, the expectation which we seek from them, whatever it may be. The main problem is we all are one way, other way, we are stressed and tensed, medically, and we have seen all those emotional aspects and the various types of stress, which I am not going to do it. Only thing is, we have some tools in heartfulness meditation, because I am also a meditator. I'm practicing for quite some time, like Dr. Rangaraja has right now said, because I have introduced him also. I said it is better as a teacher you do meditation, because it is more effective in your teaching also, because you are more focused when you are teaching and delivering, as well as when you are involved in your research. Actually, this will be more useful, both for you as well as the students, because you are able to help them and guide them in a balanced way. That's the topic which we are going to see, and in between we'll have some interaction about the practical aspects of this meditation and other things, right? Now, coming to that, we have seen that first day, Dr. Suresh Purni has explained about relaxation and meditation, how to meditate and what are the techniques of meditation, he has said. I'll just summarize everything and we'll go to this final content of balanced existence. And yesterday, Dr. Pari, she has explained about, she's a medical doctor, she was a professor of anatomy. She has talked about the cleaning, that rejuvenation part. I hope you all enjoyed that also. I could see that. Any other thing? You see, I'm free to, stop at any point. If you have anything to ask, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can use the chat box. I don't know. I may be able to see the chat box frequently. Right. So, in a way, meditation is a passive process. Let me. So this is a slide, I like it actually. This is a very general slide, nothing to do with this, because we should have something in our life, some vision, some goal in our life. This is Alice in Wonderland. He has written about this. If you don't know where you are going, any road will get you there. So we should have a proper goal in life. The main problem is we don't have any, the stress is that we should have the higher goal in our life. Once we have that, that itself will have an purpose in life to lead. Otherwise, we'll get easily frustrated. If you have nothing, very small goals, and if you have some temporary goals in our life, then we may get frustrated quickly. So we should have higher goals. That's the only purpose. That is the most important element in our journey. So summarizing all these practices, we have three aspects of this practice, important practice called meditation, which first day it has been explained in the afternoon, and yesterday cleaning, that is called rejuvenation. And the third aspect which I am going to talk today is the inner connect. So these three techniques work on the three different aspects of our system. The meditation is mainly for the mind to regulate. It's not control. People sometimes say that I have to control my thoughts, I have to control my mind. It's not easy to control. It should not control also. We should regulate. We should regulate instead of getting unwanted thoughts. I should get thoughts, good, constructive thoughts rather than the destructive thoughts. So that way meditation helps you to, regulate our thoughts and the mind ultimately. So the technique has been explained. Anyway, I'll also touch briefly that. Then yesterday she was explaining, Dr. Pari, madam was explaining about cleaning techniques, how our emotional baggage we carry from day-to-day life, actually, the thoughts and actions and the impressions we accumulate from the day-to-day life, and how to unburden that, by the evening cleaning, that is a mental cleaning or rejuvenation process, which is done normally in the evening, and how it is connected to each other. The third aspect is inner connect. It is one way, it is called something like a prayer we connected. We have to connect ourselves with our own higher self to realize our true human potential. That is a purpose. So it's connected with the heart. So meditation for the mind and cleaning is to remove our emotional burdens. And the heart is an important aspect which connects the both mind and, say, emotions and with other people. So these are the three techniques which we have. And it does, if you do these things, these three things, daily life, and you will find there's a lot of life, not only stress-free life, it's a blissful life. So I just summarize that meditation, this meditation has no motive except to experience the present moment. People have talked a lot, actually. We get 80,000 thoughts in a day. And, Miss Surbi was just explaining before our lunch session. And she is saying one thought in 1.25 seconds. So we are all bombarded with so many thoughts. Most of the things are repeated thoughts, and that too random thoughts. So here the meditation is mainly to experience the present moment. Yesterday Dr. Rekhi was saying, because of the past and the present in between the two lion, actually tiger, he was explaining, and we are there, we are unable to see the present actually. In the present, there are strawberries which we could not see that. So here the meditation makes you to experience the present moment, here and now. This is actual simple two words which we like it. You have to be here and now. Then we are not talking that only there is one way to meditate. There are countless numbers of different meditation techniques and methodologies available to you. If you go through Google, you will find so many ways. So one of the ways we teach here, it is very simple meditation on the heart-based meditation. That is why it is called heartfulness. So you can choose any one meditation. But my humble request to all the participants is, after this course, at least after this course, you should try to meditate and see the changes. There's no need to pay to anybody, no need to waste time, no need to go to anybody. Be at your comfort, at your home, at your convenient time, preferably in the morning, as early as possible, when the nature is also, in calm and very cooperative to meditate, without any disturbance. So any ways of meditation, if you are already meditating, most of the few people must be meditating, and it is good. You meditate any method, whatever you feel it, but it's better to meditate in a systematic way, not by looking into, Google or anything from the internet or WhatsApp people simply share. Just systematically you join one system of meditation and try to meditate in a systematic way, or any number. So this art of learning to observe one's own self, because we are very experts in observing outside world, what is happening in and around us, but we forget ourselves to see our own self. So it starts, the awareness starts. So it's very important to know about your own self. The meditation, when you close the eyes and senses outward and try to observe inside and go inward, and you see your own self. What are we? How are we? All those things. So it's an art. It's not about, people think that, in meditation, I will not get thoughts. I will be thoughtless or I'll be thought free. It's not like that. It's Only thing is you are aware of the thoughts, because now so many thoughts are coming which are not in our control. Whether we like it or not, it comes. We are disturbed by so many thoughts which is coming, negative thoughts and disturbing thoughts. Now here in meditation, you are aware of your thoughts, so that, once you are aware of thoughts, you can always check your thoughts. That's the next stage, actually. Once you are attentive to your own thoughts, we can start to have more control. Not control, you can say, you can have a little, vigilant on your thoughts, and you are the master, actually. That's the another aspect of meditation. So far, we are not in our own control. We know what is that, what that kind of thoughts should come to me, but I'm not in the control of my own thoughts. But this meditation makes me to control over myself. So we'll say the master of your own thoughts. Now thoughts are the master. Thought is actually controlling us. We are the slaves of our thoughts, our wishes. Now slowly this meditation brings you to control over own thoughts, and you will be the mastery over thoughts. So, and we have seen that. I have summarized. We are not going to do it right now. Normally we do the meditation in the morning, actually. In the first day session you have done, and we have done the meditation also. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to maintain a big proper posture in asana for meditation. You can sit comfortably in a chair or a floor, wherever you feel comfortably, and we just think there is a divine light. So see, we need, because we in a human frame need something to focus. Without that focus, we may not be able to meditate, actually. So it's a simple, like a divine light is like a you can say diving board in a swimming pool. Suppose you want to enter into a swimming pool, we need a diving boat or steps to enter, something like that. You have to go into the vast ocean of your own heart, actually, potential of the heart. We just take a port. You can say entry port is a divine light, because divine light, we can talk a lot about it. It's a subtlest thing. We need a small, lightest object. Light is the lightest object. That's why it is called light. But still, light is having weight. The science, physics says that. So we something say divine light, very light without luminosity, something like that. Very subtle thing. So you become light. Stress is actually heavy. So if you want to move away from stress or go beyond stress, you have to meditate on the light in the heart, and you experience the lightness in the heart by meditating. Then the procedure is there. You just focus on your heart, try to avoid the thoughts, but naturally thought comes, but not to fight. Initially, you have to try to be, alert in your thoughts, not to fight, but avoid the thoughts. Try to avoid the thoughts, but it comes by practice. You will get it. We are not going to concentrate on any particular thought or even divine light. This is a mere supposition that divine light is there. And we just keep ourselves very calm and quiet, observe ourselves as a third person. It's a passive process. That's what I want to know. It's a passive process. You are not going to, actively involve in any of the process. You are just observing yourself as a third person, your own heart, what kind of thoughts are coming. How do you feel about yourself? What, sometimes you may get a good moment, sometimes the past, sometimes about the future. So many things will come. And you are just observing yourself. At the end of the meditation, we just mark in our diary about our own conditions. I was getting this kind of thought. I was, feeling good. I was feeling, disturbed. Whatever kind of thoughts, experience you will get at the end of the meditation. This is what we do in the morning. And cleaning is an active process. We work upon ourselves in the evening by active process. That's Dr. Pari has explained, that sitting comfortably and all the thoughts, because normally when you go in the morning, we all feel fresh once you get up, have a good sleep, and having a pious feeling, and with a blissful morning, we go with a good what you call, without any negative feelings in our mind, go to our office. But it happens, the way we expect, nothing will go in the life. So maybe good, may not be good all the time. We get impressions, mental impurities, because we get a lot of hurt, a lot of, our expectation may not have fulfilled. We go with some work and we may not have done. And some interaction with the seniors and our colleagues may lead to some kind of negative feelings, heaviness, stress, etc. So actually these things accumulate in over a period of time, and we form impressions. psychologist says, consciously we accumulate these impressions from the situations and the thoughts and our actions, our interactions. And it leads to habits actually. Subconsciously, these impressions, daily dose of impressions, if you are not attending those impressions on a regular basis, periodically these impressions forms a habit. Our behavior changes. Finally, the character changes. And that's why we say it is the destiny is changed. The way we behave, we interact also will change, because we take the input from outside world, and the impression changes our own habits, our own behavior, finally our own character. So we say that destiny is even changed by all these impressions. So we have to keep a watch. People have talked about designing destiny. We have to design our own destiny by, cleaning these impressions which we formed, these unwanted impressions. Hope you all clean. If you have anything about this process, we'll give you once again, because it's better. It's all, free of cost. There is no charges, no trainer will cost you anything, because we all do it. If a teacher or the faculty member is able to meditate and find the, merits of this practice, this can be, propagated to the students also, because it's very important these days. That's why AICTs are more focusing on these aspects of, students actually. Now, stress management in the induction program also we are conducting AICT. I hope most of you are involved in universal human values, where AICT is emphasizing. So this practice is one of the simplest practice. I used to tell the students, if they come with a lot of anxiety and other stress, when they're able to unable to conclude or unable to do their work in their target time. So this mental impurities formed due to our own thoughts and actions deposited in our system is getting out through the back of the body in the form of vapor and smoke. Okay. And this process, this is only a simple mental suggestion we just give to ourselves. Once we come out of our office to the home, we just fresh ourselves by, taking, maybe if you need to take a tea and all, you just take tea and sit comfortably in the evening. And suggestion is, you are not going to think all those incidents. This is very important. We are not going to think all those incidents happen to us throughout the morning to evening. Let's just sit simply and give a suggestion. All those impressions, whatever it may be, throughout the day, is getting out through my back of the body in the form of vapor and smoke. You see, people think it is very lightly, what will happen this. You see, our thought has such a potent power, you don't understand once you use it in your life. Because I also initially, when I was exposed to this practice, I didn't have much faith on this practice. But if you have faith on your own self more than this practice, it will work. Because this thought force is such a powerful force which definitely works on ourselves. The moment you feel you are good, it's good. The moment you feel that something may go wrong, and your system also will resonate with that thought, and you are disturbed. So this thought that all these impurities are going out through the body, from the back of the body in the vapor and smoke, and you feel light actually. And using your mental supposition, you just use it for 10 to 15 minutes. Then we feel ourselves, there is a vacuum is created in my system, and it is due, and it is being filled by the, divine grace or sacred current, we'll say the positive energy. And my system is purified and charged. We hardly do it for 15 to 20 minutes in the evening. So morning 20 to 30 minutes meditation, and evening 10 to 15, 20 minutes in the evening cleaning. And you see this, you will find it very good actually in your these things. The third aspect is inner connect, which we are going to see now for a few minutes only. So this three practice heartfulness tool, meditating the morning, that is a passive process which we observe ourselves. We may lose ourselves. That's why I say it is passive, because you may not know it. Initially, you are aware, your own thoughts, your conditions, you are feeling, you may able to feel your conditions. Slowly, when you meditate in a real sense, you may lose yourself, because I think the people are covered. No, meditation is effortless focus. Okay. Without any effort, you are focusing on yours, on subject. Concentration is focused effort. We are using effort as well as focus on particular subject is concentration. Meditation is, you are not, any effort is there. You are there and you are focused. So when you meditate, you may lose, your self-awareness may go sometimes. You may drown yourself in the meditation. Meaning, during meditation, people think, okay, I will meditate for 15 minutes. Sometimes they may forget themselves. It's not they don't go to sleep actually, but they drown in themselves so deep into the meditative state. The awareness of time and the awareness of self is also lost. And you come out of that blissful state and you feel you are totally rejuvenated. I think people must have spoken about that, alpha, beta, and gamma waves, which we are talking about, the brain waves, that EEG. You all exposed that. And in that half an hour, which you get in the deep sleep state, that gamma waves, it is responsible for our rejuvenation and, happy hormones, all whatever we call it, all being happened during that deep meditation. In due course of 15-20 minutes you meditate, your brain wave, good brain wave, that is the gamma wave, starts appearing. This all studied scientifically, because so many publications has been there, and people have shared these things, meditation and heart rate, and meditation and the brain waves, and meditation and their happiness level, all these things. So during this meditation, you may forget yourself, and this rejuvenation takes place. Now, cleaning process, as I explained, I'm not going in detail. This cleaning process eliminates all those unwanted things in our system, and it helps you to meditate better. Okay, because normally in the meditation, what you get is the past. Oh, yesterday something has happened with me. Someone has, said something wrong about me, ill about me, or it should not have happened that way, or it something like that. So all those things will get cleaned if you are doing on a daily basis. Then you can enjoy your meditation in a better way, and you will find there is a pause. Yesterday Dr. Reiki was saying, no, one thought and other thought, there is a pause. Now you are bombarded with thoughts. Every 1.25 seconds or every 1 second, there is a one thought. In meditating, you will just get a gap in the thoughts. There is one thought. You may get only, one thought in 1 minute, then 1 second I'm talking. In 1 second, we get one thought. And next 1 second, there is no thought. Then again, you get a thought after 1 second. So that 1 second thoughtless state is to be enjoyed. And if you're able to increase that gap, actually, that thoughtlessness, he was talking about stillness. Once the lake is still, it will reflect the beauty of nature, which is around us, the trees and all those natural, beauty. It reflects. So now this ripples has to be kept still. So that is the main purpose of this, this cleaning process. In the meditation, you get it, that between the thoughts, you will get a stillness, and that pause, that thoughtlessness stage has to be, increased, that pause. That is possible only when you do meditation regularly, and the cleaning process which you do in a regular basis. And finally, the inner connect, actually. Inner connect, which we will be talking today's topic, that is nothing but the prayer. We'll connect with that. So this is the only summary, and then meditation is just to concentrate. Means ultimately you will get the focus, and it will, because in the heartfulness, we say there is a music transmission is also involved. If you are anybody is willing to know, I'll talk a little about it, and you will be able to experience the deeper states of consciousness, and it brings lasting inner change. Our own changes starts occurring. And cleaning, yesterday again it has been covered. It's like a lantern chimney is there. You clean the glass so that the illumination goes outside. This process of cleaning, managing your emotions. And when we come to, just a minute, I'm getting a call, 1 minute. Okay, sorry, it was an urgent call. So we'll connect with this inner potential. So this prayer, inner connect is nothing but, is how to connect ourselves. It's something like a cry. What is, you see, the prayer which we all use daily life, we'll be trying to, do little more understanding about the role of prayer in our life, how to have a stress-free life by a proper prayer and the inner connect. So it's something like, cry from inside. It's a definition which, people give actually in a standard literature. Address to we know not whom we are the fulfill, whom for the fulfillment of a need within. It's something like, take a baby. It cries when it is hungry. Okay. And it mothers rushes to feed it. But does the baby know it is hungry? Surely not. It is the cry of nature from within. It is a cry of nature from within for the fulfillment of the need, which it doesn't know. And the nature in the form of its mother responds from outside to fill the need thus expressed by the baby. So this is actual true sense of the prayer. It means actually it is a call of nature within to nature outside for the fulfillment of a need of which the self is not consciously aware. That's what that is an example said. The baby which is crying doesn't know why it is crying, but the mother in the form of a nature outside goes to the baby and attend to it and fulfill its need. But the baby doesn't know whether it is really hungry or it's simply a call from the nature. So therefore, prayer is a call from nature, within nature, outside, and for the fulfillment of a need. Now, if we view prayer in this point of view, we find the idea of asking from God or asking from anybody, we can say, or begging. People say, many people says the prayer is nothing but asking. You are weak, that's why you pray. If you are strong, you don't need to pray for anything to God, even to anybody, asking or begging. Something people generally associate with the prayer is no longer exist. If you view the prayer in this way, it's a natural call from the nature to fulfill the need from outside by the nature, is not a beggary or something like that. So if you see that way, but unfortunately, we see today, the main attitude in prayer is begging for something. Because the main purpose of prayer should be by uttering prayer mentally once. Because I'm not going to the what is prayer, we'll see the prayer, whatever may the prayer we may use it. It actually establishes a connection with the ultimate, with our own higher self. That's the main purpose, not to seek anything, not to ask anything, not to beg anything, nothing like that. The ultimate purpose of prayer is, it is all meant for that. I'm not talking about any particular religion. We all have prayer in every religion. But ultimate purpose of this prayer is to connect yourself with the higher self, because we all have a lower self and higher self. Self is of our self. Self is self. That is called lower self. Higher self is for higher aspiration, sacrifice, and helping others. That is the higher self within us. So connecting ourselves with the higher self is the main purpose of our own prayer. It should remind us, right? Prayer should be done with utmost devotion and utmost love. And the main reason for this is to create within oneself a state of vacuity. Vacuity means there is a vacuum kind of feeling should be created. It's not out of ego we pray. We have to pray in a submissive mode with out of love and devotion. Then only there is a vacuum creates and the divine grace will be diverted to that person who we pray. Otherwise, not at the distress. We all pray when we are stressed or when we are in that tensed state. Please understand, no, this not be done. And people say my prayers are not answered actually. It's mainly because we have to pray in a very silently, in a very devotion with a love and faith, and definitely the prayer works. Right? So in a heartfulness also we have prayer. I'll just list out all those prayer. Simple 4 statements you can say. Few statements you can say. Oh Master, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that stage. These are few statements. The first statement or line, we can say, states, what's my goal? And it is the real goal. You see, we have many other goals, false goals, temporary goals, glittering goals, so many other goals in our life. Day to day, we have our small goals also. But here we are not talking about those goals. We are ultimate real goal of human life. That's what I said in the beginning slide. We should have the highest goal in our life. What is our ultimate purpose of our human existence? My own goal of this life. And second, just to reminding ourselves, second line states that we are yet but slaves of wishes, putting the bar to our advancement. It is saying that is my present condition, what I am at moment. We are just reminding ourselves. And the third statement says, and by your grace, I can reach it. So it's not asking. We are not asking anything or we're begging anything. It is reminding our own self about the purpose of our existence, realizing our present condition, and trying to reach that stage through the help of Almighty. Got it? So it's nothing like that. So only to remind ourselves for the goal and condition of present moment, and seeking the help of higher force or higher self in me to reach that stage. Now people should say when to pray. Okay, we should not pray when the human, we have to pray only when the human capacity comes to an end, beyond our human capacity. If something goes beyond my control, then only I should pray. We should not pray for small petty things. I should get a bus or the car in time. I should reach my office in time. Not for small things. It's otherwise, if you pray such way, it is either a sign of our laziness or lack of understanding of God's place in our life, in the universe. So we have to pray only when we are to, the capacity goes beyond. Normally, we pray at the bedtime. Everybody must be, people must normally pray at the, during bed. Finally, before going to bed, they meditate. And not meditate, pray actually. Bedtime prayer, we call it. Why? Because, we have two minds. Conscious mind and subconscious mind. Whatever we do at the last activity in the day, it straight away goes to our subconscious mind. Okay, because the last activity. That's why children, we don't allow the children to see the horror movies or something like that in the evening. They may get a nightmares, and they never had a good sleep. So the prayer, if it done normally done at the night time, goes without our knowledge to the subconscious mind, and throughout the night it is there in the mind and throughout the period of sleep. So in the morning when we get up, and just normally we say that in the heartfulness we say the prayer in the morning before meditation. Just remind ourselves the goal, and this is my condition. We connect with ourselves and meditate, and the night before going to bed. So the 24 hours connection is there. There is a permanent, you can say, waking, the 24-hour cycle of permanent uninterrupted connection with our own higher self. So prayer is a connecting thing to throughout the day as well as in the night, consciously as well as subconsciously, if I say more clearly. Something like we will not put off it. Actually, people say, no, you meditate in the morning, you go in the night and nothing is there in the night, you are just gone. It's nothing like that. Subconscious mind, without your knowledge, you are connected with your own aspiration in life and your own life purpose. And with the flow of that feeling, you are, without your knowledge, you are connected. It's something like covering a coal, burning coal. In the cold countries, people used to cover the coal in the night with ash. Okay? They don't let off the, fire goes off in the coal, just cover it up in the top of that coal with the ash. The moment the morning they wake up, they blow the ash and the fire is ready to lit up. So something like that. We just cover it's something like, covering up with the ash only. So this much I'll just cover at this point of time. Now I just go show you the, video to meditate. If you all know that, otherwise I'll just share for a minute how to meditate and how to do the prayer. Then we'll have a practical session before we go to the next session. In meantime, if there is any doubt, you can ask me. Just I'll go through that. Then you can have some discussion. Then we can go. Can you? Audio is coming, no? Please confirm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You must be knowing this procedure, but still, I'll watch the animated video for a while.
Prayer is offered just before going to sleep. Sit comfortably. Gently close your eyes and relax. With the feeling of humility and love, mentally repeat the prayer slowly. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. Meditate for 10 to 15 minutes over its true sense. Try to lose yourself in it. Let the feeling behind the words come to you. Allow yourself to melt into this prayerful feeling. Retire to sleep right after the prayer. The prayer is also said silently once in the morning before meditation. This practice of beginning and ending the day with the prayer establishes a connection with the Source throughout the day and night.
So hope you have seen that. Sorry, I'll just. So I'll share one more this meditation, how to meditate. Then we can go for the practical session.
Prayer is offered
No, sorry.
just before going to sleep.
This has been repeated. I'll go to the next slide. Just a minute. This is not the same thing, I think.
just before going to sleep.
Anyway, we'll
Prayer
stop.
is offered just before going.
Okay, that particular video is not coming. It's okay. I think my colleague has joined, Dr. Meenu Kurana.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So let's have a practical session now. Anyway, they are exposed to meditation and the cleaning yesterday. So today we are given an idea about that prayer, that is inner connect. So let's have a practical session for quite some time. Starting with the guided prayer and meditation. Then I'll continue. If there is any quick question, we can take through chat box or through normal video audio also. Yeah, we'll share the video. Saktivel Murugan will connect the videos to you. If anybody want to ask briefly any question, we are free to ask. We'll get an experience of meditation with the prayer just now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes, sir.
Sir, I am Saktivel Murugan, librarian from IRTT Erode, sir. Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Please, sir.
Sir, now we are treating the heartfulness in a meditation only, sir. But the art of living, Jackie Vasudeva Isha, Srisha Yoga,
yes, yes.
And other Valga Vahamudan, Vedatri Maharishya, some signs are giving some tips for the meditation, sir.
I told you in the beginning itself, in the art of meditation, there are many methods. There are so many methods are available. I didn't say this is the only one method. There are so many methods available. I said you meditate in a systematic way, either art of living or any other systems. Because we are from this heartfulness, we know only about heartfulness. So I cannot teach about other which I do not know. I am practicing heartfulness and finding it good. So it is simple also. So we are teaching it. So it doesn't mean that this is the only one method of meditating. There are so many methods. All methods are good. You can try any one method. Okay. Because I can't give about other method which I am not experienced. People have so many, I told in the beginning, there are so many people who are experienced with so many other kind of meditation. It is there.
Thank you.
I request Dr. Ramya, please mute yourself or you can unmute and ask. His mic is muted, unmuted. Good. You asked the question, that's what I said. No, there are so many. I'm not denying it. There are so many methods available. If you feel like to experience this also, you can experience. Whatever you feel it good, you adopt it. Like medicine, like homeopathic medicine is there, allopathic is there, Ayurvedic is there. People have different approach. People say, for me, allopathic suits. People say, no, homeopathic is better. So it's up to you. There is no hard and fast rule that one system is working, but you follow one particular system, not by your own self. People like self-medication. People take their own medicines. I have a headache, I take medicine by my own. That should not be done. That is the only humble suggestion to all of you is you should not meditate in our own way by seeing something from the book or something from the internet. You do in some system, either in a systematic way of art of living, whatever you say, in heartfulness or Sadhguru. There are so many, n number. So wherever you follow a system and try to meditate and feel it. I'm just giving an idea about overall meditation benefits and how it will be helpful. And the system which we are practicing, I can give you a glimpse and experience. Right. Good. Any other?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. This is Vimla.
Yes, madam.
In the year, I had a practice, like sir, the previous sir said, I had a practice of meditation from another concern. And in the beginning stage, I got some discomfort, like headaches and my hypertension I had. So if there are any discomforts, should I continue or how do I overcome this?
So you meditate on the heart.
Third eye. No, sir, not the third eye meditation.
Actually, in some meditation, I do not know. People say we have to concentrate on a particular object or in a particular mantras.
Exactly.
So actually what happens, when you concentrate on particular object or when you repeatedly do some mantras or some particular word, it leads to concentration. So that's why we say the concentration is you are focusing and you are putting effort also. It may lead to sometimes, headache and some side of, mental tiredness. So in heartfulness, we say you no need to concentrate or give any effort to meditate. We just meditate. Natural way. It is called the natural way of meditation also. So here the thing is effortless focus. So when you do meditation without any effort, actually, very naturally you sit, the only thing is you are observing your own self. The possibility of headache will be very less. You may get in the beginning, sometimes in meditation, what you are doing it in the first time in your life, anything you do first time, you may not be comfortable, like learning a cycle at a certain time in the beginning, you feel discomfort. No, you may not get the balance, you may get little disturbance. So once you become mastery over your own cycling, you feel comfortable. So initially, anything you do mentally, you may get a little trouble, but try to do for a little more time in a systematic way, and it should go away. So that's one thing is you may be concentrating, you may be repeatedly thinking over and again or focusing forcefully. That may be the reason, but try this method also. That's what I said, everybody may not able to meditate on one system. People have different versions. Whatever suits to you, you can try. So you can try, nothing wrong in trying even heartfulness also for some time. And if it suits, you can take, or you can take any other system. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other queries or clarifications for meditation? Please feel free, no problem. It's totally interactive. I am also not an expert. I can't claim I am an expert of particular meditation. I am also one of the faculty like you only. But I practice for some time, so I have the little courage to say that the meditation helps a lot by practical experience. Whatever I am sharing is from practical, not from any other much of the philosophy and research work on meditation. But people have done a lot of research on this meditation. We have sufficient scientific proof to say that meditation helps a lot. Right? So shall we proceed towards practical session? You all prepared? If you want, you can take a minute break to fresh yourself and come back. It's 1 hour, almost 1 hour session we had. Or we can meditate. If you are comfortable, you can try this. I'll share in the group all those videos. If you find it good, you can continue. I'll give you all the websites and other things. There is no difficulty in what you call, you don't need to go to anybody to specially learn this. You can sit at your comfort and connect with a trainer. Nothing is there, no charges are required. We all is easily approachable. And why I'm saying is the meditation, whatever meditation, if you go detail into that, people say yoga, pranayam and meditation, this is a long term. We don't have the time to do morning. I also tried. Morning, you do the yoga for sometimes, asanas and other things, then breathing exercise, then meditation. It takes almost 1 or 2 hours in a day. We need it if you want to do it. But later on, I find, meditation for 20 minutes is good. You can go for a walk, nothing wrong. But then you meditate. No need to do so many things in the life, because mostly our problems are connected with the mind, not with the body. So based on my own experience, you have seen it. Even if you are healthy physically, mind is not focused or healthy, all these problems are there. So I'm sure that this meditation helps you even in your physical level, only by meditation. So now I request Madam Moinu Khurana to walk through you the real practical meditation. Right now we all will experience, and you'll tell the feedback. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much. So I hope, namaste everyone, and I hope everybody is enjoying the sessions with all the heartfulness facilitators and trying to learn how to manage stress in day-to-day life. Heartfulness provides a beautiful tools of, managing our stress, because I'm also a trainer, heartfulness trainer from Delhi, and we all are experiencing this meditation. So if I put it in a simple word before jumping into our practical session, if I put it into simple words, that meditation is like a meeting with Almighty. Because to manage stress, to manage high-powered organ into ourselves, in our inner selves, so only we need a supreme power to help us. So through this meditation only we will be able to handle our stress, handle our mind. So first thing is taking out 10 to 15 minutes for meditation in the morning. And it is like a meeting with the Almighty, and it is like a meeting with our real parent. Actually, we should take out a few minutes to, spend some time with our real parent. Then only we will be getting the strength to, to charge ourselves and to move on into our lives. Second thing is mental cleaning. We know how to take bath physically, how to keep ourselves clean physically, but what about mental? So mental cleaning is like taking a mental bath. We are accumulating many impressions during the day, knowingly, unknowingly, while talking, while watching, even seeing movies, we are accumulating impressions. So even meeting people with different vibrations, we are accumulating impressions into our inner selves. So this is a scientific technique which Heartfulness offers, that by taking out 10 to 15 minutes, usually whenever we reach our homes after our office, we usually getting ourselves refreshed with a cup of tea. And before even Daji recommends that before interacting with even with your family members, take out 10-15 minutes and getting yourself mentally refreshed. So this is the beautiful tools which Heartfulness provides, and you can simply try it on. This is cleaning. And finally, we are coming on to inner current, that is prayer. If we have a beautiful handset, mobile handset in our hands, and we have many useful apps in the in mobile system, but if the mobile doesn't have the connectivity network, so what's the use of it? So inner connect is to connect ourselves. It is like connecting yourself with the higher self inside yourself, and connecting yourself with the Almighty. Put your crying and put your feeling into it, that you really would like to connect with him. And and somebody was asking here that concentration and meditation, sir was also telling us the difference. The only thing what we required is love. Meditation is an interesting and lovable affair actually between human being and Almighty. So try to put your feeling and simply ask Almighty that you really would like to experience Almighty, and you really would like to learn how to live and lead this life, human life, which is so complicated. So we can seek help from Almighty. And through prayer, half of the work is done if we put our feeling into this prayer, and then start with this meditation regular. And before going to bed, again do this prayer, and then go to sleep. It is like nowadays we are actually listening, people are talking about this Yoga Nidra. What is this Yoga Nidra? Yoga Nidra is nothing only into, with the sleeping with the prayerful mode. And by putting your heart into your prayers, you will be easily, slipping into this Yoga Nidra state. So I'll be making you experience right now. I would like to request you to all, put your willingness to do it, to follow it, then only you will be able to experience it. So this Heartfulness prayer, 4 lines prayer, which we have just saw on the screen, this is out of research. It has been, Heartfulness offers it. So please whenever I speak this prayer, please follow with words and with, that feeling. Connect your feeling, put your feeling into prayer, and then we will be sitting for meditation for a few minutes. So I'll be guiding you all. So kindly follow me. Sit comfortably and close your eyes very softly and gently. Leave aside everything in your mind. You are now getting ready to offer a prayer to Almighty. Whenever we offer a prayer to Almighty, our heart should be filled with love and devotion towards Him. You are ever grateful to Almighty. Feel that. Your Almighty is in front of you. And your Almighty is into your heart. Bring your attention towards your heart. Since He is there, your heart is filled up with love and devotion for Him. Now I am feeling like a slave to Him. And with my folded hands in my heart, I am offering prayer to my Almighty. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of our wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that stage. Feel that your heart is illuminated with divine light. It is completely filled up with His light. And this light is attracting you towards in. And you are getting absorbed in this divine light. Stay there. feel that the condition exists into your hearts, are spreading into your bodies. It is simply spreading in each particle of your body, from head to toe. And you are getting one with the condition. Now this condition is spreading in the atmosphere where you are sitting. Hold on to the condition. And now you can gently open your eyes and note down in your diaries I hope you enjoy this meditation session, and I hope you will all learn how to do prayer. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time. So thank you so much. Any questions? You can use the chat box for sharing your experience. Again, I just to stress actually, there is no one method of meditation. There are methods of meditation offered by so many organizations we have, whatever suits to you, because this system of meditation is easy, whatever I experience, and anybody can follow at any time without any proper, without any rigid rules actually, people. You can follow. I am sitting in a chair comfortably. You can meditate. You can, if you find time in your office also, sometime 10-15 minutes gap, you can close your eyes and meditate 10-15 minutes. Very simple, divine light and meditate, and you will find it. But whatever it is, but the cleaning process I suggest, because it is not with many of the organization. I checked with that. The cleaning process is an important process which you will appreciate by yourself, whether you meditate or not. But my humble suggestion is you try this cleaning session, all these impurities going through the back of the body, and cleaning session. I'll share the videos in your group, actually participant group, through your coordinator. You just try that experience, because many things by talking theory and explaining the theoretical aspects may not helpful to you, because people doesn't want that. People do not want only the theoretical aspects, now practical tools actually. So try it and do it in your life and experience it. That is the only thing I can say, because experience makes you to, convince yourself. Now, coming to the last few slides, it's almost, what is the time? So we have time, another 10-15 minutes. I'll finish. Then we go for some question answer. Finally, then we'll conclude the session. All this stress we are talking is mainly one of the important reason is imbalance in the life, because we have seen in the today's life, people are giving a lot of thought and energy, great amount of energy is spent to attain high level of material welfare, because we give least important to our health, even to other side, but more prioritizing our material life. It may be professional, it may be business, whatever we do into that. In this endeavor, people in the advanced nations, we have seen they are significantly successful, but there is unhappiness, we have find discontent, misery pervading their lives. And we have seen that, their statistics, people are not getting sleep, people are sleep deprived, and stress and anxiety, and committing suicide more in advanced nations. Materially success. It's mainly because of the result of unbalanced application of our effort. Yogic literature says that human existence have two wings of existence. Two existence means spiritual and material. Okay, it doesn't mean spiritual means you will go to worship God, something like that. It is our own inner life actually. Human beings have our own inner life and the external life. External is material, and our professional can say inner is our own inner well-being. That is body, mind, and soul. We always separate these three things from us. It's a three connected together. It should be a collaborative activity that is called internal. Now we have to balance our internal and external. That's why we say, like a bird, needs two wings to fly. So human being needs also two wings. In a bird, actually, it is flying. If you cut off one wing, it will crash to earth. It is immaterial how strong the wings are, but it can't fly with one wing. So it's a secret of balance actually. However strong you are materially, if you are not strong internally, or we call it spiritually, inner strength, then it is actually a failure and it leads to stress. So we have to balance all this work and life balance, our work, family, health, even social life, friends, and fun. If you are able to balance all these things, then you are actually able to lead a balanced life, which leads to no stress actually, right? So the present situation is something like this, only we are more focused on material life. More and more material we are interested in accumulate, and we forget our own inner potential, our inner strength, our inner life actually. So we say the olden times people, the saints who so-called went to Himalayas or jungle, and they were only doing spirituality, whatever it is. They must be meditating all the time, and they attained some higher levels of spiritual conditions and something like that, So we are at two extremes. But in life, it has to be balanced, something material and spiritually. We have to balance both. We need to have a material life. We have responsibility. So material life is also important. At the same time, you have to give time to our spirit. It doesn't require actually equally 12 hours for material, 12 hours for spirit, nothing like that. Whatever 1 hour is day, out of 24 hours, if you spend 1 hour for our own inner life, is enough to take care of the remaining 23 hours life. So to achieve one's full potential, the individual must apply himself equally and impartially the material and the spiritual life. So the bulk of humanity leads an animal existence motivated by lust, inspired by fear, driven by lower urges, unworthy of being called even remotely, because we are always, what do you call, driven by fear. Actually, most of us, lack of security. Every day, if I may lose the job, my health may go wrong, something may go, always in a fear. It's not the real life actually, or material life behind pleasure seeking, something like that. So we have to rise something higher, that is the real life with a stress free. If you go little bit of, only one slide I had at this philosophy aspect. Eastern philosophy does not recognize, because we need to understand today's context, that we are all seeking pleasure as our goal. Happiness, we confuse happiness with the pleasure. So Eastern philosophy does not recognize, because in the whole animal kingdom, there is no such thing as pleasure. The bull doesn't go around looking for a female. Instinct drives it. Honeybee going for a honey as its food, but it doesn't know it is sweet. So in animal kingdom, there is no pleasure, but an instinctive drive. But what we are doing with our life? So there should be a balance between pain and pleasure. Ideally, you should be so balanced, there is no pain and no pleasure. So we have to seek a life. So the stress is mainly because we seek the one side of the coin. If a coin is having two sides, if you seek the pleasure part, naturally pain is the part of that. You can't avoid. Inevitably, the part of pleasure is the pain. So we have to balance both pain as well as pleasure. Then there is a no loss, no profit situation. That's what we wanted. This is the evolution actually. The evolution of law of evolution says that by normalizing all our functions in the human system, a person develop into a perfect human being. This is what all literature of Eastern philosophy says. We should perfect only when you develop all aspects of our existence. It's something like, if one side is developed, like having a most powerful right arm and left arm is polio struck, and you can't use it. So we all need equally balanced both legs as well as arms, hands. So something like that, there is a balance in our inner as well as outer. So the people, I have taken from some quotes from great people actually. He is one of the great saints has said, saintliness means balance of all human faculties. You need a balance of all human faculties. And you see, this is another important, which I liked, is Indian heart and Western mind. A complete human being, a balanced human being should have an Indian heart. It is nothing specific about geological or biological, these things, geographical location. In general, Indian heart is actually meant for, we have in our own, country, that compassion, love, sacrifice, something like that. Western mind is very rational, thinking and scientific mind. So if a perfect human being or a balanced human being is there, we should have that Western mind, that is rational thinking and the logical reasoning mind, scientific bent of our aspect is there. At the same time, we should have the Indian heart of, helping others, love and sacrifice, compassion, all those qualities. That is the thing which you should aspire for. And the balance is perfection. If you say the perfection means balance, and perfection is balance is perfection, perfection is balance. So the whole purpose of meditation means, I've talked about meditation means it is not only meditation, meditational practice includes meditation, cleaning and inner connect. Is a reversal in the fact that mind is our master. Okay, actually mind is controlling us, which I said in the beginning. Now we have to become the master of our mind. It is only this much. We have to just reverse it. So far, I am not in control of myself. Mind is taking me over me. It dictates, go there, I'm going. Do this, do there, seeking pleasure and material benefit and temptation, all these things. Now, if I become master of my own mind, then the purpose of a life or balanced life, stress-free life, all these things may be achieved. Now, the people ask me, meditate, how to meditate. In the beginning, people may find it, including me when I started, I could not meditate. 5 minutes, you get a lot of thoughts, headaches, and this disturbances, a lot of anxiety. There's so many things comes. People are very comfortable. Why? People are keeping mobiles and, occupied with their own cell phones and, laptop, mainly because they don't want to see what is inside of each one of us. I don't want to see inside of me what is there actually. So you see, always engaged outside with the social gathering and mobile phones and other, social media things. So once you meditate, close the eyes, so many things will comes out. Your inner self starts speaking to you, and people do not want to listen that. So you have to listen your inner voice. That's art you have to learn. Meditate every day. By meditating, like, if you want to know cooking, do cooking for few days and you will mastery over your cooking, even cycling, driving. So by doing it again and again, we progressively increase our ability to take comment of the situation. So ultimately, I just collaborate, connect everything. This relaxation is there. Tomorrow we have I think, sleep session is there. People are not able to, get themselves relaxed. So the techniques for relaxation is there. Then meditation we have seen. The benefit is stillness, clarity, focus, productivity increases, our concentration level will increase. Rejuvenating, because we are irritation, his level is high now with the people. We don't know how people will react a different situation. We go with a normal sense of feeling with the people, and people get sometimes intolerant, and sometimes they are unable to predict unpredictable behavior. So these things can be normalized, rectified, and of course by connecting, we ground. Grounding, yesterday Dr. Rick was telling, we just hug the tree and you are connected, you are grounded. So the grounding is done. One of the technique is by connection. So it will give you intuition, power, and compassion, etc. Now I'll finish this sharing with a small, saying by Marshall Rosenberg. I believe that when we are really connected with that divinity within each other and ourselves, that people enjoy contributing to one another's well-being more than anything else. So this is very important. If you accept that the same divinity in each and everybody, including myself, then we actually contribute one another's in a real way more than anything else. So there is a app actually. If you want to meditate, you have a Hearts app is there. You can go to the Play Store and try to download and connect it. It's all free. You can connect with any of the trainer and you can try this meditation anywhere. And we have there are few master classes also. If possible, I will try to share through your coordinator if you want to practice it with a trainer and all these things. And we have some programs for students also. So if anybody is further willing, we can share those things. It's beyond our scope of this FDP on stress management. We can definitely share. So thank you for all your patient hearing, and I'm open for any discussion. So question, answer, and discussions. Yes, sir.
Participants, you may ask questions related to meditation or how to relax how to release your stress and how to overcome the stress.
We are not overstressed, no, by this session. Please feel free. See, the tools are given to you because I believe on practical techniques actually. So more than your theoretical aspects. Acha, is sleeping with meditating okay? See, one way I'll tell you, when you meditate, you will get definitely relaxed. It's a good sign. At least you are able. People are not able to sleep, which we are going to cover next day. If you are able to sleep, one way it is very good. At least you are able to relax yourself. So in meditation, if you are getting sleep in the beginning, it's okay. Okay, in the beginning stage, it's okay that you are able to relax. At least in the meditation, you are able to get sleep. People get sleep. Sometimes people say, one of the, I'm also a trainer in one of the student who came from the hostel. He said, sir, I'm not at all getting sleep. No time. So I'm totally disturbed my own country. People are sleeping. I'm not getting sleep. So I said, okay, you come for meditation in the evening time. I used to sit in a chair and we were giving meditation training and the relaxation, then meditation. He slept, he started snoring. I'm not, it's a serious case. Then he said, sir, I don't know that I never slept even in the bed, but I slept in the chair itself, very deep sleep. I said, it's good. So don't worry about meditation. You have slept actually. So it's a good sign that you are able to sleep. But ultimately, in a long run, in a due course of time, it's actually something, we didn't go scientifically into the meditation, why meditation is required, conscious and subconscious mind. See, consciously go to your subconscious. Please understand, we meditate with a conscious mind, that thinking all, whatever light in the air, in the heart, something like that, consciously. Then you just put everything goes inside your subconscious mind. That relaxation, that condition, when go to the subconscious mind, trigger the higher part of your brain, means higher waves, brain waves I'm talking. That's having its own effect actually. It will have your own emotional whatever baggage, impressions you carry. It is having a good effect on cleaning ourselves. See, something like that, without your knowledge, somebody kept some huge amount of money in your bag. What is the use of that? No use. You are not aware you are rich. You have money, but you don't know whether you have money or not. At the same time, if I give willfully, with your knowledge, 100 rupees even, that I have 100 rupees, I can spend when time comes. That's a huge difference. You get benefit during sleep. You may get some benefits. There is a huge, the topic, sleep versus meditation, which can go for 1 hour, another 1 hour. It's a separate lecture. We can have certain aspects of, we can't totally say meditation is completely good and sleep is not good. Sleep is having its own role, meditation has its own role. So you are aware consciously. If you know that I'm getting some benefit, then you will recognize it, you will appreciate it, and you will cherish it. That's the beauty of meditation. So in due course of time, the higher part of brain to activate. If your full sleep is done, if you are completely 8 hours slept, for example, then you meditate, you don't get sleep, right? Suppose the other way, if you are not getting sleep, you will get sleep in the meditation. If you are slept fully 8 hours, completely your sleeping requirement is over. Then the brain will take care of the next level of function in the subconscious level, real meditation. So that way, I think I'm making some sense. Meditation during initial stage, if you are getting sleep in meditation, it's okay. At least you are able to relax. But every day you should not get. When you become meditate over some time, meditating for some time, then you will be able to enjoy the meditation. Consciously, you are, you are aware. You will not fall down. In sleep, what happens is, suppose I'm sitting in the chair now. When I sleep, I may just, fall down. My head may, waver. All those physical instability may occur. But in meditation, I am not aware of my environment outside, but I am composed. My body is stable. And to some extent, I'm aware of what is happening, but I am enjoying my own inner condition of that peace and tranquility inside me, and I'll cherish it. That's the basic difference. Good. Any other doubt? Because whatever I am saying, it's all from the practical experiences. That's why I taken this topic to you to discuss, rather than taking so many techniques from the literature and giving you the methods of meditation. Once you practically do, you will understand. Right?
One
Please feel
question from Mr. Faisal Ahmad. Meditation done improper at beginning stage, will it have any side effects mentally or physically?
Is it in the chat box?
Yeah, exactly. So the question is in the chat box. 2 message up.
Where is that question? I'll read it, because, or you please read it again. I don't know. Nice. Meditation. Yeah, I read it. I've seen it. Meditation done improper at the beginning stage, will it have any side effects mentally or physically? I don't know. Improper procedure. See, definitely it will not damage actually. It will not damage anything, side effects mentally, but you may not get the expected result actually. Right? Because the meditation one advantage is even if you do wrong, it won't give you any negative results, but you may not get the positive result. That is the only session. That is the only benefit here. But in other yogic practice, like pranayama, if you are doing pranayama, if you are not doing in a proper way, it may go to some negative results. For example, people do pranayama, if not properly done, they may not get sleep actually properly. The breathing things should be done. Meditation is not dangerous or something like that. You may not get the proper result actually. So that is why I said, follow a simple system. Dr. Saktivel is also asking. I said, you follow any one system, either wherever you are convinced, one system. There are so many systems which is offered rather than doing by your own self experimenting with the meditation. Initially, I was also doing, that's what I said. I was reading books, I was meditating on so many other techniques, which I could not find it very effective. So once I started meditating under a proper system, I could feel it. It may be any system, it's not only heartfulness. There are many systems, which you all know it, you must be doing some of it. Acha, how do you know whether I am meditating properly or not? Sometimes I get severe headache after meditation. Yeah. See, it's like sleeping. Right. I think Dr. Sri Lakshmi is asking. I think she has asked already also. Anyway, I'll write it. If you sleep properly, you will know it. During sleep, you don't know, naturally. Like a food, when you eat the food, you don't know during that time. After eating food, yes, I'm feeling good. After digestion, you feel it. Similarly, when you have a sleep, during sleep, you may not be knowing. When you get up from the sleep, you say, yes, I had a peaceful sleep. Same thing in the meditation also. When you come out of the meditation, if you feel very calm, peace and composed, loving, more on tune with the nature and the feeling of a very high feeling, if you feel, then it means you are meditated properly. Severe headache, actually, I don't know. It is not normally expected unless otherwise you are concentrating. See, the idea is the meditation is a passive practice. If you actively force yourself, focusing to something, like I said, you are repeating a particular word. People say mantras, repeatedly just chanting some particular word or some particular phrase, then it is actually you are concentrating, or you may be seeing a light, focusing yourself on a particular object and trying to focus. It may lead to concentration. So not to stick on to a particular object. We are open to that. You just give a suggestion into the heart and you just meditate, observe yourself. The idea is the meditation is just observing yourself. Openly you are there. You are not going to resist anything. Sometimes negative thought also come during meditation, but we will not encourage the thoughts. Please understand, in meditation, we will not encourage the thought. At the same time, we will not stop the thought also. It's something in middle way. If it comes, you try to politely avoid. You see, sometimes, unwanted person comes. You don't want to meet a person. How do you behave? Ever, you say, so I don't want to meet that person. I simply silently move away or, go. I don't want to confront with the person. So I just simply quite silently I'll go. Same way, if you deal with your thoughts in the beginning, if something is coming, I try to politely avoid that. Not forcefully, I should not come. That may not work. So please try this way without forcing yourself. Sit comfortably, allow yourself, relax yourself, and observe yourself. Not to force, not to concentrate on anything. Then in due course of time, you will definitely feel, better in your meditation. Yes. Any other doubt? Any other question? Please feel free. So if you are really interested, you can try, because, why I said is, it is all because of the practical experience, which we find since this was very simple to follow it. It has been, shared with you. So welcome you all again. If at all any further guidance is required, we'll definitely will coordinate through your coordinator and other media. Thank you so much. I think.
Any more questions? Okay, so thank you very much for the beautiful session, sir. Participants enjoyed and they have put a lot of messages about the meditation and how to meditate and how to carry on. So hope that participants will take this for their better way of life in the coming days. So thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my views and the experience with all the participants. Thank you. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Announcement to participants. The feedback will be shared now, and also you are requested to submit the feedback without fail as the earliest. You know, yesterday we for the yesterday's feedback up to 10 a.m. Today is given, but it will not be given today. So try to complete the feedback. Probably it will be closed by 7 p.m. That will be closed by 7 p.m. today. 7 p.m. today. The third day's feedback will be closed by 7 p.m. today. Wish you all the best. Have a nice evening. Thank you. See you tomorrow by 9:30 a.m. Thank you all.